Hello everybody, and welcome to Mel The Bombshell. Today's video is going to be a top 5 favorites list. This favorites list is going to be about my top 5 favorite games on the PlayStation 3 system. Let's get started. Before I get completely into the video, I want to do a little preface on the games that I have chosen in this list. I tried to go with games that were a defining part of the PlayStation 3 generation. They may not be PlayStation 3 exclusives, but I feel that they were a major part of the PlayStation 3 system and were all released primarily for PlayStation 3 or other systems of that era. I also tried to choose games that weren't part of the same series. As in, I didn't choose Uncharted 1, 2, and 3, or Infamous 1 and 2. I tried to stick with one game per series if I chose a game that was part of a series. Additionally, I tried not to go with game collections. I didn't think it was fair to include 3 games in one as part of my favorite game collection, especially since a lot of the game collections on the PlayStation 3 were all remakes of games that were available on the PlayStation 2 and part of the PlayStation 2 or PlayStation 1 era. This list of my top 5 favorites is also subject to change. I am still continuously collecting and playing PlayStation 3 games, so it is possible that I'll find a new PlayStation 3 game or play through a PlayStation 3 game that I haven't played before that might make its way into my top 5 favorites list. And finally, these games aren't in any specific order. It was hard for me to put a number on any of them. Just know that they are all one of my favorites and constitute my top 5 favorite games of this era. The first game that I want to talk about is Burnout Paradise. Sadly, my copy of Burnout Paradise does not have its original cover art. Instead, it is the GameStop generic cover that they put on their used games. Burnout Paradise was originally released on January 22nd of 2008. Burnout Paradise is not a PlayStation 3 exclusive, as it was also released on the Xbox 360 and the PC. This game was developed by Criterion Software and Stellar Entertainment. Overall, I would like to say this is an amazing racing game. One of the things that I really love about this racing game is the open world freedom to explore the city. Especially in 2008, there weren't that many racing games that offered open world maps. The main game that you could drive around in an open world was Grand Theft Auto, and if you had parents like mine that didn't want you playing Grand Theft Auto, your options were very limited. So, as a kid wanting to play an open world racing game, having Burnout Paradise was quite amazing. Whenever I played this, I didn't really focus on the story progression that much. I mostly just drove around and did as I pleased around the city. I only really did the main storyline races whenever I wanted a new vehicle and I had to progress further in the story or get more credits or do whatever it took to get that new vehicle. The amount of customization to the vehicles in this game was also a nice touch for the time. I enjoyed getting to put a custom finish on the car that I was taking around and cruising the city in. I also like the racing mechanics of this game. The races did seem a bit hectic where you don't have the actual GPS map to your finish line. The races were always fun though because you got to find new paths in order to kind of edge out your competitors and win the race. Now Burnout Paradise has been remastered and is on a lot of other consoles. I would recommend that if you don't have Burnout Paradise Remastered and you like open world racing games, to go ahead and get this game. I currently have the Burnout Paradise Remastered Edition on my Nintendo Switch, and it's the main racing game that I play on the Switch. The second game that I want to talk about is PlayStation AllStars Battle Royale. PlayStation AllStars Battle Royale was released November 20th, 2012. It was developed by Superbot Entertainment and Bluepoint Games and published by Sony Interactive Entertainment. PlayStation AllStars Battle Royale, as you can tell by the title, is a PlayStation exclusive title. It was released on only the PlayStation 3 and the PlayStation Vita. The main thing I have to say about this game is that it is one of my favorite fighting games of all time. And it is definitely my favorite fighting game that I own on the PlayStation 3 system. I find it super fun to have your iconic PlayStation characters all fighting in the same PlayStation style arena. You'll have different maps inspired from different games, and all the characters come directly from games that are iconic to the PlayStation lineage, and it just creates for this super fun experience. It is kind of like a Super Smash Bros. Clone, and it's Sony's version of Super Smash Bros., which I don't really find a problem with. I honestly think that everybody should kind of do that. I really enjoyed the PlayStation AllStars Battle Royale though, because growing up I played PlayStation 1 and 2, so the PlayStation characters have a bigger spot in my heart than other characters do. Additionally, most of the maps in the game have like a fun twist to them, to where instead of being all about one game, like a static map, they have this weird twist in the middle of it that kind of brings in together like an additional game, and it makes the gameplay really fun and just kind of keeps you more intrigued in the game and in the fight. I also find it fun that each character has its own specific set of moves and a super ability that make playing every single character worth it, because they're not just clones of one another, and it's fun to see how one character sizes up against a different character and really fit different characters to your fighting style within the game. I enjoyed that this game has the ability for couch co-op. Growing up without internet, I always enjoyed a game that I could sit down with either my brother or my family and we could all play together. We got to choose fun characters and fun arenas and then yell at each other of how the game was cheating us or whatever. It was just always a great time, and I really recommend playing with other people sitting next to you in this game. It really adds to the fun experience. So that's why PlayStation AllStars Battle Royale is in my top 5 PlayStation 3 games. The third game that I want to talk about is Disney Infinity 1.0. Disney Infinity 1.0 was initially released on August 18th of 2013. This game was not even close to being a PlayStation 3 exclusive. It was released on a lot of systems, and I'm very aware of that. However, Disney Infinity 1.0 is probably one of the most, if not the most played game that I have on the PlayStation 3. I really enjoy Toys to Life games, and I really enjoy the Disney universe. So combining these two things together was like a dream come true to me. You get to do anything you want in Disney Infinity. You can build things, you can fight enemies, and you get to play through the worlds of your favorite Disney movies and characters. This game includes Monsters University, The Incredibles, Pirates of the Caribbean, Cars, The Lone Ranger, and Toy Story. Like, those are some of the greatest Disney movies of all time. How could you not want to play through that as your favorite characters in the game? I'm aware that Disney Infinity 1.0 especially does come with a lot of different faults. However, in my opinion, it does not keep it from being one of the greatest games on the PlayStation 3. And unlike other games on this list, Disney Infinity 1.0 hasn't been re-released on newer platforms, so unless you have a PC, you can only play it on platforms of the PlayStation 3 generation, which I feel like makes it a definite staple in the PlayStation 3 time period and a well-deserving spot on my top 5 list of my favorite PlayStation 3 games. Fourth game on my list is Need for Speed Most Wanted. This game was released on October 30th of 2012 and developed by Criterion Software. Need for Speed Most Wanted was also released on a lot of platforms other than the PlayStation 3, so it is by no means a PlayStation exclusive title, but it is one of those games that haven't been remade constantly and added to new systems post-release. Need for Speed Most Wanted has amazing open world racing and driving. Instead of having to build up cash through races and purchase cars as you progress, you get cars simply by exploring the map. How much of a more rewarding film of open world exploration is there? I find this the best way to earn new cars in a video game. You may think that it doesn't emphasize racing enough, but to me, one of the most fun parts of open world racing and exploration games is just purely driving around the map. That's what I wanted open world racing games for, and so whenever I got to play Need for Speed Most Wanted and I got more cars by exploring the map and driving around, that was like heaven. There's nothing better that you could have given me. I cannot even tell you the amount of hours that I've spent playing Need for Speed Most Wanted. Whether it was me going through races or just driving around finding cars and smashing billboards, I have spent so many hours that the game quit counting how many hours I had put into my save. Whenever I played this game on the PlayStation 3, I had all the cars and all the upgrades for all the cars. I just kept playing and kept racing until I had everything that I could possibly have. This can go basically without saying, this is my favorite Need for Speed game ever. I've played a lot of different Need for Speed games and none of them have lived up to my opinion of Need for Speed Most Wanted. Not only are there tons of vehicles, but you also get cop chases around the city and you can hide out from the cops, which I find to be a super fun element to the game. My only major flaw with this game is that there's not enough vehicle customization. Like, you can only change the color of your vehicle if you drive through a gas station, which I don't particularly like because I found myself just like driving in a circle through the gas station until I got the color I wanted on the car. So I didn't like that there wasn't a lot of car customization. But other than that, I had no issues with this game, and I had a great time playing it, and it is definitely in my top 5 list of the PlayStation 3 games that I own. The 5th and final game that has made it into this list is Uncharted 2: Among Thieves. Uncharted 2 was released on October 13th of 2009. It was developed by Naughty Dog and Blue Point Games, and Uncharted 2 Among Thieves is actually a PlayStation 3 exclusive if you don't count the remakes that were put out on the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 systems. So, like many other people with the PlayStation 3, the Uncharted series, and Uncharted 3 in particular, because it was bundled with the system, was the reason that I wanted a PlayStation 3 system. And I remember specifically asking for the PlayStation 3 that came with Uncharted. When I got the PlayStation 3 system that came with Uncharted 3, I also was given Uncharted 2. So even though I was wondering why I didn't get Uncharted 1, I decided that it was probably best to play Uncharted 2 first before playing Uncharted 3 because it was games in a series. So Uncharted 2 was the first game that I ever got to play on a PlayStation 3 system. And I was absolutely engulfed in this game. I got this for my 13th birthday and I played like all day, every day until I had beaten the game. I enjoyed nearly every second of this game. I got to do my favorite things all combined in one. Shoot bad guys, kind of stealth around and hide from bad guys, platform and climb on different obstacles, and there were tons of explosions. And I'm a sucker for explosions. So all of these things wrapped into one game, to me, was like mind-blowing, an amazing experience. I don't think the Uncharted games, especially on the PlayStation 3 era, ever did disappoint. I love all of the Uncharted games, but Uncharted 2 really has the wow factor with me. It really sucked me into the Uncharted story and really made me fall in love with that single-player shooter adventure experience that these games offer. So, those are my top 5 games on the PlayStation 3 system. You all can let me know what your top 5 list for the PlayStation 3 would be, or if you agree or disagree with any of my choices in this list. Like this video and subscribe for more content in the future. And feel free to drop a comment below if you have any questions or comments for me. Above all, I hope you all have a wonderful day and I hope to see you again in the future. Bye!